Hello pilots, I'm Major Payne and this is another episode of Airbase Briefing. In these episodes I often talk about news in a game, but also top secret knowledge that most players don't know. And that's going to be today also. I'm going to talk about G-Suit, how exactly this equipment works, because so far information about this equipment are not available to players anywhere. I also will show you the most overpowered and overlooked skill for pilot. But before we go to this interesting stuff, I will reveal who is the most skillful pilot in World of Warplanes. So a little bit over a month ago I organized tournament for most skillful pilot. It was inspired by a new Top Gun Maverick movie. It's a great movie. If someone didn't watch it, I recommend it. It's a great cinema. So tournament. The mission in this tournament was very difficult. Acquire excellent piloting skills. And if someone didn't watch the first video, which explain all the rules and waypoints in this tournament, I leave a link in the description so you can take a look first if you want. Now, the player who had the best time win 2,500 gold. So let's see the first place and top piloting skills. That's the first waypoint where we start. There you go. Now if you go down to the riverbed below 20 meters, that's the waypoint here. Now another waypoint where we lift the altitude restriction. That's epic turn. Excellent use of rudder. Another waypoint here, this tree. Invert the plane and attack the target. And get back to the riverbed before next waypoint below the 20 meters, which is just perfect. And then this turn is amazing, still below 20 meters, beautiful. Finish point. Forlorn, congratulations, the best result, you are the winner, and the winner get 2,500 gold, which already been sent, and I already get the confirmation from Forlorn that he received this reward, which I'm very happy. But there is a thing, second place is so close to first place that I decide that I'm gonna reward also the second place in this tournament because it's so tight. And so, Laviette, congratulations for second place, and you get 1,000 gold on your account to be picked up, so you just need to log in on Wargaming website and pick up your reward. I still didn't get your confirmation, so if you see that, take a look and enjoy. Thank you very much for your replay. And I have to say that I'm very happy that the interest in the tournament was so big and so many players sent me replays and they had a fun trying something different from day-to-day gameplay. And I'm gonna mention a couple other players and their results. First thing first, third place will be Matt. Congratulations also. This is very difficult tournament, no question about it. On this turn here you may need to use better your rudder instead of roll and pitch. I think that costs you most of the time. But other than that, actually that was very good, and this is unique technique to use this resilience in this flight, which pays off. Very good result. When I was making this tournament in the first place, that was designed for multi-row fighters only, and then I changed my mind to all the planes. I said all the planes, and that's why I recommend the F7U for it in the initial video. But I see the players figure out very quickly that F7U is not going to be the fastest in this tournament, and they try many others. And between the players which play other planes is Legacy 3548, and he fly in Messerschmitt Me262 HG3. Amazing results, 2 minutes 33 seconds, also epic. And between the F7U multi-row fighters, there is a player Yield D's 98, sorry if I'm not saying that correctly, with time 2 minutes 46 seconds, also amazing run. Congratulations to everyone, because this is not easy. Even though some players may think this is easy, it seems to like easy, but it's not, it's very difficult. And there's a funny story to this. My old friend take a piece a little bit of my tournament, and he offered me that he gonna fly tier 3 bomber, Topaz, but I have to show that in a video. And I said, okay, why not? I'm gonna use this clip as an intro, or maybe in the end of the video, that kind of stuff. It's gonna be funny. But very quickly, as I warned, my old friend ran into problem. He couldn't even get through the first waypoint, which required player to fly through the 2 chimneys. And of course, he said that this is not possible, blah blah blah, and in Topaz Bomber, so I had to go to the training room and prove that this is actually possible. So guys, it's not about win rate, and just because someone is flying bombers or overpowered P61 and B29C mainly, and of course in a flight with other good players, that doesn't mean that they have skills or full knowledge. Well, thanks for giving it a try. You make my day. I appreciate it. Now let's talk about G-Suit and how the hell this thing is working. So first thing first, G-Suit as equipment have also extra bonuses as any other equipment, and in those extra bonuses we have 2 bonus for maneuverability, so average turn time can be increased by those 2 bonuses. It's together 1.5%. So basically, if you put the equipment with those bonuses, my average turn time will decrease by 0.3 seconds, which is not much, but that's work all the time. But we are going to focus now on explaining how the main parameter of the G-Suits work, which is maneuverability at high speeds. I was making a lot of test flights where I was making turns in many different speeds, with and without G-Suit, and then I was collecting this data, and after many hours basically I have solid conclusion how this actually works, and I'm referring of course to fully calibrated G-Suit. First, you have to be aware that planes, when they cross the optimum speed, which is white, and they enter the yellow line, they start losing maneuverability. As fast as we go in the yellow, then turn rate is increasing all the way up to the red, which is maximum speed. Yeah, so we keep losing our turn rate as much as we speed up. When we put the G-Suit as equipment, then in a yellow line where we keep the same turn rate basically. So we can say that it works straight away, but not in a sense that we are going to have like 14% more of maneuverability. It's just going to reduce the negative effect that we would have normally without the G-Suit. It's always going to reduce the maneuverability to the level when we have at optimum speed, no more. So I'm gonna run a few tests to explain that maybe better. So I made a lot of those tests on a couple different planes, and this one here is we trying to check the 360 degrees time of turn without the G-Suit first. So first we trying to keep 800 km/h speed, and we gonna get 11.5 seconds. Yeah, And then next test is 850 km per hour speed. That's at least what we're trying to keep. And here we're gonna have 11.7 second. And another test with speed 900 km per hour. So I'm not using the flaps or any, there is no bumps on it, so I have all the time the same plane, same configuration. And that's gonna be with 900 km per hour speed. And we're gonna have here 11.89, which is basically almost 11.9. Yeah, and now we're going to put the G-suit, but the one which not gonna give you extra bonuses for maneuverability, the one without the bonus for maneuverability, just pure main parameter maneuverability in turns at high speed. So another test with 800 km per hour, but with the G-suit now. The same test, just with the G-suit. So we start from 800 km per hour. We're trying to keep this speed, which it's not very easy. That's why I had to make a lot of this test. But you see, 11.2. So it's better, and it's constantly gonna be almost the same time. So it's not some kind of mistake or inaccuracy or it's stuff like that. It's another test, 850 km per hour. We're doing 360-degree turn, and the result is 11.18. It's gonna be here. Yes, and another test for 900 km per hour turn. And the same time is expected. You may say that this is actually a funny way of testing this, but I didn't figure out anything better than that. So I think it's pretty accurate. And there we go, 11.17. So again, the same speed with G-suit. Now, you see how it's worked. There is no one single speed where the G-suit is activated. There is no such thing. He's activated in the moment when you cross into the yellow speed limit. But it's not going to give you some significant maneuverability straight away. Yeah, it's just going to reduce the negative effect of the maneuverability at high speeds, like if you would have without the G-suit. So that's how it's works. It's not magically going to increase your maneuverability by 14% at some point. No, it just progressively, as faster as you go, then as bigger bonus is going to be. And the biggest result, of course, going to be at highest speed. And there's going to be one more test here. I'm going to show you what's the difference, but without the G-suit and with the G-suit is at really high speeds. So we're going to go on red, first without the G-suit, to maximum speed. And pay attention also how I'm losing the speed during the test. So without the G-suit, I'm losing speed when I'm making a turn. And with the G-suit, we are not losing the speed. So that's another thing G-suit's gonna give you. You're not losing speed at high speed turns. So here we go, first without the G-suit, turn at maximum speed, but you see how I'm losing those speed. I cannot hold on to this speed, I keep losing it. And the whole turn is going to take us 12.6 seconds. And now the same thing is going to be performed with the G-suit. And you will see how I can maintain the speed and what's the difference in a turn time. Here we go. You see speed is staying exactly the same, not even drop a little bit. A little bit is dropping, but not significant. Yeah, 10.7. So let's zoom up. G-suit is working every time you enter the yellow zone of your speed, but the effect is minimum. And the big effect can only be seen at very high speeds. So where we can use it? Well, planes like J8M, any plane actually which quickly enter the yellow speed and operates in that speed a lot can find G-suit useful. Could be also for two-circle fight, I guess. at high tiers, but I can assure you that I'm going for two circle fight quite often in my battles, and I'm doing quite well without the G suit. So it's questionable. Now, what else? If you have a F7U and, for example, you use the special pilot Mary Lovenhart, which in a dive she activates skills which give double damage to bombs. So basically, you need to be in steep dive at high speed to activate that, and then G-Suit may help you to get out from this dive and not to crash into the ground, if that makes sense. I'm not very excited about this equipment, and I rarely use that. Probably I could count the planes which have it, on fingers of one of my hand. That's it. And you need to also ask yourself the question: can you sacrifice accuracy, for example, for this limited maneuverability bonus? So it's a difficult question, and as I said, very few planes in my hangar have it, and very few planes actually can have any benefit from this. Now let's move to last point of the video, and we are going to talk about skills, and most precisely resilience. It's a very powerful skill, most often overlooked by players, so maybe first I'm gonna read you what resilience actually doing. Repairs all critical damage and heal all crew injuries, reduce engine and weapons overheating by 50%, and increase maneuverability and engine thrust by 5% when aircraft lost 70% of his hit points. The skill is activated automatically once per sortie, and they suggest that it will be most useful for light fighters, providing a significant momentarily advantage that can tip the scale of engagement in your favor. And that's actually true. It's very useful at light fighters. For a long time I was thinking that if it's activated once per sortie, that means it's gonna repair everything but once, one time during the flight. But that's not the case. It's actually activated every time you go below 70%. So basically aircraft repair itself, and then you get hit again, and it's activated again. So many times during one sortie you can have this skill activated, and that make this skill overpowered basically. Now I will show you example in a battle how it works. I'm flying here P-51A, it's a tier 6 light fighter in American Tech Tree, and this airbase was neutral a moment ago, but so many enemy planes came in here that they captured that, and I had to fly away for a moment, and now I'm coming back to recapture that basically. And always airbase and airfields are very difficult to capture for light fighters, because in any moment someone from enemy team can respawn on this airfield and be just behind you basically. So it's very tricky, and it's difficult. So I see on minimap the light fighter is incoming, so I have to leave this air defense and I have to go for light fighter. It's Yak-1M, so it's much more maneuverable. He going head on, I use that, but I lost a lot of HP. As you see, I have 100 HP now. So if I get hit now again, that will activate the resilience now. And that's the important moment. Look at my boost, only 3 seconds, and engine now. I just lost the engine, and the resilience automatically repaired that engine, and my boost is full now, 8 seconds. And this is a critical moment, because I could be now without the engine and almost without the boost. So now I have an engine, I have boost, I take out one more air defense aircraft, I capture this airbase, and now I have this Yak-1M again behind me because he just respawned. But I have my boost, so I can drag him up so he can stall. He is so much more maneuverable that if I would stay down there without the engine, I will be 100% done. And now he is done because resilience give me boost and repair my engine instantly, and I win, and I have this airbase. So that's the resilience, and it's very unappreciated skill, which is very overpowered. Like, people don't realize that how useful is that specifically for light fighter. Like, if heavy fighter attack you, for example, and damage your wings, you can, or engine and something, and you get straight away repair and full boost, you can go and pursue, give a chase to this heavy fighter, that kind of stuff. So it's very useful in many situations. Alright guys, that's all I have for you in this episode. I hope you like it, found it useful, and if so, give me a like and subscribe for future content. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Take care!